We have all heard people saying to someone to stop being childish or stop acting like a child. Usually, this is said when someone does something that one imagines only a child can do, because grown-ups aren't supposed to do such things. Grown-ups are supposed to alter their base behavior to match what is expected of them by everyone around them. Grown-ups aren't supposed to jump on the bed. Grown-ups aren't supposed to go around playing games or acting silly or spending time playing with a lightsaber or something of that sort. Grown-ups aren't supposed to enjoy the same things that little kids find to be fun. This present definition of childishness had led to many people having to suppress their true selves in various situations, wherein, had they been allowed to be themselves, their experiences in that moment would have been so much better, so much more fun. They would have enjoyed those moments so much more, and they would have been more memorable for those people. Remember that moment when you got that amazing news and you wanted to dance like a monkey on cocaine, but you didn't because you were afraid of what other people around you might think? Remember that moment when you wanted to play the way you used to back when you were a kid, but you couldn't do that because you're a grown-up now? I bet that there have been so many moments like that in your life, and in my life, and in pretty much everyone's lives. Such moments when we have denied ourselves the joy of openly expressing everything that exists within us. All because of the term childish. This label that we fear that others will give to us. There is no good that has come from it. It only stops us from being joyful, and thus I don't like this definition. Why is it wrong for a grown man to play with Legos? Why is it wrong if a grown man dresses up for Halloween? Who made this rule? When you look at a grown man playing like a little kid, regardless of how mature your understanding of human nature is, for at least a few moments, you too would feel that it is odd. And this, I believe, happens because the societal definition of childishness has been beaten into our heads. We give little kids the right to do it. And then when that same kid grows a beard and a mustache, it's not okay anymore. How does that make sense? I want to propose a better definition. Instead of labeling all childlike acts as childishness, let's refer to them as being playful. Do all those things you want to do with pride. As long as you're not harming anyone else, do whatever the fuck you want. As for the word childish, let's alter the definition. Instead of all childlike acts, let's only include the improper handling of emotions in this definition. Let's say childish is when a grown-up handles his or her emotions the way a little kid does. And that is not okay. How do little kids handle emotions? They can be stubborn. They can be unnecessarily mean to someone simply because they themselves feel insecure about something. They can indirectly hurt someone else because they may be feeling jealous or left out or upset. They can be possessive of their toys and may even feel the need to assert their ownership to make themselves feel emotionally secure. There are so many more things that a child can do that is hurtful and wrong with respect to someone else, or sometimes even with respect to themselves. However, it is understandable that they would make these mistakes because they are little kids and they may not yet have learned how to properly deal with these kinds of feelings and emotions. But when an adult makes these same mistakes, it is not okay. It is not okay for an adult to act out in a manner that they end up harming others, simply because they may feel insecure about something. It is not okay for an adult to try to hurt someone because they feel rejected somehow. It is not okay for an adult to try to assert ownership over other people. This happens in the real world. So often it happens. And it's not okay. People are often so difficult to have sensible discussions with. I bet you know many people who you simply cannot have a discussion with because the moment they don't like anything you said, even if it were true, they will explode on you in a manner that is worth despise. People these days get offended for things that have nothing to do with them, and they often just refuse to try and be mature about it. And this does nothing but harm, not just themselves, not just them, but everyone around them as well. Thus, it would benefit everyone if the definition of childishness was altered to include only the mishandling of emotions and feelings, and to not include acts of playfulness that will simply add to someone's joy and happiness. Be childlike. Jump on the bed. Be playful. There is nothing in this world that should stop you from being happy. Do whatever you want. Except maybe in situations like a funeral or something of the sort. Yeah, you should probably control your behavior in such situations, because you jumping up and down on the bed when someone died, that just looks shitty, man. So, okay, that's it for today. Have a nice week, y'all.